The way is in training. Miyamoto Musashi. My friends, that is exactly the way. Each and every day, 10 to 15 minutes, that is all we ask. How did you like the special training I put out on Friday for you on volume price action, and candlesticks? Oh, it's a good one. I tell you what, I'm going to attach it to the end of today's video for everyone. Plus, of course, for all our subscribers at chartingwealth.com, you get a special training every day. And this one is on fractional trading, fractional shares. So also check your emails for that one. Patreon members, of course, appreciate all of your support. We have already emailed to you your September 23 5-day plus ETF trading analysis and execution plan, along with the trade execution summary grid. Let me clear my throat. As we start, we see stocks and gold are up, bonds and Bitcoin down. Let's first take a look at the S&P 500, man. Does it not just keep going? It just keeps going and going and going. Higher today, up 0.47%. You can see it was up in the morning. Looks like it was up a little more in the afternoon. Look at the volume in the morning. Volume fell off a little bit in the afternoon. Look at the latest 2-day candle, all that volume. Not seeing a lot as we start the week, but we had super high volume. Well, not super high. That's super high volume going back to, mid or early April. But last week, decent volume. We'll see where things get this week. But again, markets up. And again, if you just keep printing dollars backed by nothing, inflating the economy, real stuff, it doesn't become worth more. The dollars behind it become worth less, so there have to be more dollars. That's called inflation. That's called quantitative easing, printing money backed by nothing, whatever you want to call it. That's what it is. But if you're in the stock market, it just keeps going up. What do we see going on with the NASDAQ 100? It's up 0.48%. I think I said earlier the S&P up 0.47. But again, moving up higher. The high last week, 559.36. This week, 602.87. Just keeps on keeping on. Look at all the volume on the 2-day. And again, that is a 2-day candle that represents Friday and Monday, so it just finished drawing. Same on all these charts. And you can see we had that pullback on Wednesday, and then, of course, of last week, Thursday, Friday, and Monday, just continuing to boom up. And again, keeps on keeping on. So, of course, we are long on stocks. Now, bonds. Bonds have really started out weak this week, although that weakness started last week, didn't it? We had all that ranging in the afternoon on Wednesday and then rotating over strong on Thursday morning, on Friday, and on Monday. In fact, it went much lower this morning, it looks like, than it ended up in the afternoon, only down 0.36%, but a very weak start to the week, just pulling right through that weekly trend line. 2-day chart, we see the candle piercing the weekly trend line, and of course, the half-day chart well below it, starting, like I said, last Wednesday. So we'll continue to keep an eye on TLT. As we've told you, we have been down on TLT. We've been up, we've been down, we've been all around. We've had some real weakness kicking in it. And whenever we see, as we run the charts on things where they're flipping back and forth, or we're looking at up moves, but then it's like somebody's pulling the rug out from under it, showing us that there's some real underlying weaknesses. And of course, that's further explained in the trading analysis and execution plan. But when you see that weakness, need to pay attention to it. Now, where are we on gold, man? We are long gold. Again, up 1.73%. Is that just not incredible? Gold languished for such a long time. Remember all those weeks starting in June, mid-June, where gold just languished back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And then on the week beginning 25th of August, started moving up. And man, it has hardly slowed down. And of course, we did see things on Wednesday pull back a little bit and on Thursday, but then started taking off on Friday and banging up on Monday. So we continue to be long on gold. We've been long on gold for a while. Hell, we've seen the trade execution summary good up to 85% directional probability. When you get up there, man, why aren't you in it in your practice trade? And I always use that caveat. We're not a stock calling, gold calling, bond calling, Bitcoin calling service. We're an education firm. I want you to practice trade with us. We are not giving market advice. But of course, you see, as we practice trade week in and week out, I hope that it is very helpful to you in being very successful in your practice trades. Now, we go from gold to Bitcoin. Bitcoin pulling back. Now, we saw it pull back on Friday. Harder on Monday, down 3.58%. Of course, we had that 2 weeks of up movement and kicking back on us on Monday. We haven't penetrated the weekly trend line on the 2-day, but as we start, that is the weekly trend line. Hasn't been penetrated on the 2-day chart, but it has on the weekly, and it has on the half-day, so we will keep an eye on things. This candle could build through the week, or it could just be rotating over hard down. We will keep an eye on Bitcoin, but that Friday down move on into Monday, pulling back significantly, so we will keep an eye on it. That is where we are as we end the day on Monday and as we get ready for another exciting trading week. God bless, my friends. All the best from the whole team at Charting Wealth.